world's first billionaire? What if the man who invented the modern concept of wealth started out selling potatoes door to door? John D. Rockefeller wasn't born into power. He built it, bit by bit, deal by deal. From humble beginnings, he rose to control 90% of America's oil and reshaped capitalism forever. His name still echoes through history as a symbol of unstoppable ambition, ruthless strategy, and unprecedented success. Rockefeller didn't just build a fortune, he created the template for modern big business. This is the story of how one man changed the world and became its first billionaire. Early life and struggles. John Davison Rockefeller was born in 1839 in Richford, New York. His father, William Big Bill Rockefeller, was a traveling salesman with a shady reputation, while his mother, Eliza, was a devout and disciplined woman who raised her children with strong values. From a young age, John learned the importance of frugality, hard work, and religious faith. As a teenager, he started working small jobs, eventually landing a position as an assistant bookkeeper at 16. He was obsessed with numbers, records, and saving money. His first business venture began at age 20 when he partnered with Maurice Clark to open a produce commission business. In the 1850s, America was rapidly industrializing. Rockefeller saw opportunity everywhere. But it wasn't until he discovered oil specifically, the potential of refining it into kerosene for lighting, that he found his true calling. He knew oil was going to be big, and he was ready to dominate it. Founding Standard Oil. In 1870, John D. Rockefeller officially launched Standard Oil in Cleveland, Ohio. But this wasn't just another business, it was the beginning of an empire. Rockefeller had a laser-sharp focus on efficiency and control. While other oil refineries were struggling with waste, inconsistency, and poor finances, Rockefeller built an operation that ran like a machine. He brought in experts, tracked every penny, and made sure no drop of oil or dollar was wasted. His reinvestment strategy meant he didn't just take profits, he used them to build even stronger systems and smarter infrastructure. But Rockefeller's ambition went far beyond refining. He didn't just want to be a part of the oil industry, he wanted to own it from the ground up. So he moved fast to control every step. He cut secret deals with railroad companies to get huge discounts on oil transport, while his competitors were still paying full price. These secret rebates gave him the power to slash prices, bankrupt rivals, and buy them out one by one. To outsiders, it looked like magic. In reality, it was pure business warfare. Within just a decade, Standard Oil wasn't just a successful company, it was a giant. By the 1880s, it controlled around 90% of all oil refining in the United States. That level of dominance had never been seen before. Rockefeller had built more than a company, he had built a monopoly. And with it came not just incredible wealth, but also the power to shape entire industries. His rise was controversial, but undeniable. This was the start of a new era in business, and Rockefeller was leading the charge. Business tactics and controversies. John D. Rockefeller wasn't just building a business, he was reshaping how business was done. He believed that too many small players in an industry created chaos, waste, and instability. To him, competition wasn't a healthy motivator, it was a threat to progress. So, he made it his mission to control the oil market through ruthless strategy. He approached competitors with buyout offers. If they said no, he would drop his prices so low that they couldn't survive, then return to profitability after they were gone. It was cold, calculated, and brutally effective. But not everyone admired these tactics. As Standard Oil grew, so did public suspicion. People began to see Rockefeller as a monopolist using shady tactics to strangle small businesses, became fuel for his critics. Journalists and politicians slammed him for creating a trust that held the entire oil industry hostage. He was called greedy, ruthless, and even dangerous. Standard Oil became a symbol of unchecked corporate power, and Rockefeller became the face of it. Eventually, the government couldn't ignore the outcry. In 1911, after years of investigations, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil had to be broken up under antitrust laws. But here's the twist. The breakup didn't destroy Rockefeller's empire, it multiplied it. He still owned shares in all 34 of the newly formed companies, many of which went on to become giants in their own right. In trying to cut him down, the system had actually made him even richer, becoming the first billionaire. When John D. Rockefeller stepped away from business, he wasn't just rich. He was the richest man the world had ever seen. At the peak of his wealth, his net worth was estimated at $1,400 million. In today's money, that would be over $400 billion, 0 cents. That's more than Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or any modern tech mogul. No one before him had reached that level of personal wealth. He didn't just climb the financial ladder, he built it. But Rockefeller didn't live like a flashy tycoon. He dressed modestly, followed a strict daily routine, and avoided alcohol and gambling. He was deeply religious and believed his fortune was a divine blessing. He thought it was his duty to manage money with discipline and give it back with purpose. His approach to wealth was more structured than luxurious. He didn't seek attention, he sought impact. He wasn't loud, he was focused. Being the first billionaire wasn't only about the dollar amount, it was about what that kind of wealth represented. Rockefeller reshaped how the world thought about success, business power, and responsibility. He didn't just run a company, he created a system. Philanthropy and legacy. After building one of the greatest business empires in history, John D. Rockefeller spent the final chapters of his life focused on giving back. He donated more than $500 million. He founded the University of Chicago, which went on to produce over 90 Nobel laureates, and Rockefeller University, a pioneer in biomedical research. His giving changed the world just as much as his business did. Rockefeller believed that charity wasn't about emotion, it was about results. He practiced what he called scientific philanthropy, meaning he carefully studied the impact of every donation. He wanted to solve root problems, not just offer short-term help. His foundations helped fund breakthroughs in public health. He also pushed for better education and research systems that still shape global institutions today. Even a century later, Rockefeller's influence hasn't faded. His legacy isn't just built on wealth, it's built on how he used that wealth to create long-term impact. John D. Rockefeller started with almost nothing. He faced hardships, took risks, and made tough decisions. He played the long game, thought strategically, and built a system that could outlast him, and it did. Love him or hate him, his impact on business, philanthropy, and capitalism is impossible to deny. Rockefeller didn't just become rich. He redefined what it meant to be powerful, successful, and generous. But history always remembers the ones who changed the game. And John D. Rockefeller changed it forever. What do you think? Was Rockefeller a visionary genius or a ruthless monopolist? Do the ends justify the means when someone changes the world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video powerful or thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.